So did anybody ever get to eat? That was my question. I don't think anybody ever got to eat.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What,
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Basketball Wives. This is season 8, episode 14. The girls have gone to Costa Rica. And this whole episode literally consists of 2 dinner dates. And I don't believe anybody actually got to eat. I didn't see anybody eat. So, okay, they got like 2 villas. And Shawnee put Evelyn, herself, and Kristen in the one villa. And along with Phoebe in Malaysia. Then she put Jackie, OG, and CeCe in the villa on the bottom together. So right then I was like, okay. All right. And they hadn't even been there that long. Child Phoebe had then referred to them as roaches. I was like, oh my God, roaches. Malaysia had referred to Jackie as an old face on a young hoe. I was like, what is happening here? So they come, Shawnee makes a phone call, tells them, I know y'all got in late, but I have a dinner planned. Come on out. It's going to be catered. We got a bartender and everything. Well, listen, Phoebe was drunk as hell. Phoebe had just got sloshed, okay? And the 3, OG, Jackie, and CeCe, were down there. And they all were wired up and they had attitude about certain things. The other ones were wired up. They had attitude. I was like, this is not going to go well. They meet up for this dinner. Evelyn, I don't even know why you decided that you wanted to be the mediator or the troublemaker. One of the two. Probably a little of both. But you start out with the asking questions. And then you switch over. And you tell Kristen, if I were you, I couldn't do her. Period. I just couldn't. I could never forgive her. I could never deal with her. I just couldn't. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, Evelyn, where'd that come from? And child, CeCe was like, what? So then we end up into this conversation of CeCe and Kristen. Same old shit. You know, on and on and on. And CeCe gets up and she's like, I don't even care, this, that, and the other. And she's walking off, doing what she usually does. Just like Shawnee said, Shawnee said, this child, she always runs. She always runs. Anything with her is never going to be resolved because she always gets up and she runs. And she does. She gets up and she runs. But the thing that we found out with CeCe, if she stays too long, then she incriminates herself. So, damn if you do, damn if you don't. But Shawnee goes down to the van and she ends up getting her to come back. So she come back. Now she, she's like, okay, she come on back. Phoebe then get started with Jackie. And baby, I told you all, Phoebe was drunk. She was drunk boots, okay? Phoebe cussed Jackie's ass out. My God. She literally cussed Jackie Christie's ass completely out. And Jackie just sat there and Jackie took that. Why are you getting so upset, honey? What's the problem? I don't know, girl. You know, you're throwing insults at me, but it's okay, honey. I just, you look real crazy, though, girl. Just really crazy. And it was actually working for Jackie because she was able to stay in character, which nobody expected. Everybody was expecting Jackie to go off, and she didn't. She stayed in that character the whole time. But I don't know. I don't. It wasn't. It was very impressive that because Jackie got a whole lot of crazy, so it's impressive that she was able to hold her crazy at bay. But the way in which Phoebe cussed Jackie out, I was like, I don't know, this is a little more entertaining. Baby, she cussed Jackie out, called her all kind of old bitches, and I said, well, ain't nobody gotta, relay no messages, baby, because she just told you everything that she feels about you. You old bitch, this, that, thing, and the other, and on and on and on. I was like, oh my. So she cussed her out. Jackie was like, whatever. Then she gonna say, you gonna come to a cancer event acting like a whole ass with your old ass, geriatric ass. This cussed her out. Then you gonna buy me a candle. And I don't think, you know what, just hold on right there, bitch. She ran back up in the place and got this candle and brought the candle out. I should have packed the candle and brought it to Costa Rica, honey, and gave her a candle back. And Jackie's like, just looking at her like, girl, you mad. Oh, no, you big mad. Ooh. I was like, child, it was funny to me. She cussed her out. And Jackie paid her dust. The whole thing was funny, and everybody was like looking, and people was like covering their face, and child. Then they were all in confessionals, like, "Girl, I was getting scared because Jackie stayed too calm." I was like, "Child, okay." So all of that happened. Then they leave, and they're like laughing at Evelyn when CeCe was going to leave because CeCe was like, yeah, Evelyn was like, well, yeah, why don't you just go ahead and leave? Girl, why don't you just go straight to the plane and get the hell on out of here? Why don't you do that? Why don't you just run it on home, sis? And, I was like, so they was laughing about that. CeCe went down there and CeCe was talking to OG and Jackie, and she started saying basically how she felt as though she's hurt because Kristen, in her opinion, hasn't been the good friend to her that she's been to her throughout all these years. And she started going into the background story of how when she first became Byron's girlfriend, and how the media and people thought that, people accused her of being a homewrecker and all these things, and how she had actually shared with Kristen, no one else. She had only shared with Kristen. And this is where some of the big problem is with her and Kristen. But she's like, I'm really tired of it. And I just don't care to even speak to her anymore, and the hell with her. So, So CeCe got onto this thing where she was just like, she was on one, okay? She's like, I don't give a shit. I don't need nobody getting in, trying to give their 2 cents and trying to put us back together when we ain't trying to be first. They need to mind their business. And she was talking about Evelyn. So that was that. So listen, the next day, split the ladies up. Half go on the gondola, half go on ATVs. So when they get to their destinations, it ends up being a conversation about Phoebe in one spot. Baby Jackie comes out and accuses Phoebe of being a crackhead. And then sat up in her confessionals, and you know how Jackie Christie lies, and said I have reliable sources that told me that she is a crackhead. And this is why she's so thin, and this, that thing, and the other. But she's a crackhead. They said she likes a little something extra. And so Evelyn was like, no, no. I've been with her. I've had her in my home. She stayed in my home. She liked to smoke a little weed, but that's it. She don't do no cracker. Doesn't like to check. I ain't never heard. I was like, I heard, honey. I heard. I was like, oh, Jackie, bitch. So then on the other side, Phoebe was taken up for Evelyn because CeCe was like, listen, Malaysia, the difference between you and Evelyn is that you're classy. And Evelyn is a hood rat. So Phoebe was like, don't say that. You know, this, that, thing, the other. And then Malaysia was saying, with Jackie, I ain't, she didn't know. She talked about me and she talked about my kids, and we were supposed to be close. And then when I went to talk to her about it, then she wanted to fight me. Like, I ain't thinking about her. And Jackie already was like, oh no, I ain't thinking about Malaysia. We've fallen out before, but I ain't trying to fall back in with that. That whole thing, Jackie, I don't like where you stand on that one because you just was doing the most. You've been doing the most. I don't like that. But anyway, so that was that. So then here we go again. Later on that day, they were like chilling because they were going to go to this dinner again. But in the meantime, in between time, Shawnee and Evelyn. Why did these two start doing impersonations of CeCe that were spot on and was hilarious? I said, y'all are so shady. Oh my God. Y'all are so shady. But while all that was going on, CeCe got a bug up her ass. And at some point, CeCe is starting to buy into the fact that her and old OG are friends. And now she thinks she's tough. And she got to telling them, honey, we are the three musketeers. We will take these bitches down. Instead of, I said, you done bit off a little bit of tough juice somewhere? Girl, what's going on? So they get to the new dinner. Jackie, OG, and CeCe get there first. CeCe's on one. She already got 20 on 10 from the door. Jackie talking about she ain't gonna sit with her back to the road because she want to see these bitches when they come up. OG just kind of looking like, okay. Child, the women all come in and they sit down. And baby, this dinner gets started. This dinner is starting out. And Evelyn goes right in, and Evelyn says, I want to know what she had to say, honey, because I hear you had a lot to say about me this afternoon, honey. And that CeCe turned around, and whatever Phoebe had the night before, CeCe had it tonight. And she told Evelyn, oh, yeah, because, you know, they were just waiting on her to backpedal pussy pop. And girl, I ain't said nothing about you, honey. She said, oh, yeah, I said it. I said a whole lot of stuff, such as you're a bitch and you're mean and you're hateful. And she said, wait a minute, hold on, hold on. I'm a bitch. She said, yeah, you are. I said, oh, come on, CeCe. Honey, that Evelyn's face was cracked. Evelyn's face was cracked. I had to laugh. I said, no, Ev, her face was cracked. And like she had to laugh herself. Like, well, wait a minute, CeCe. And then it clicked. This bitch is coming for me. Honey, and Evelyn reared back in that chair. I said, CeCe, bitch, you better get ready to skedaddle because you know she will take the table on you, know, the girl. And she got the rearing back. And then the next thing you know, Jackie and Phoebe, Jackie told Phoebe, listen, let me tell you, or Phoebe told Jackie, let me tell you something, Jackie, bitch. I ain't never been on crack, you old bitch. You're the one running around that had liposuction 11 times, honey, trying to get down to my size, and it's not working. I said, oh, here we go. And the funny thing, Phoebe was so drunk the night before, she didn't even remember cussing Jackie out. But she was sober, baby. And she was going for Miss Jackie's neck, honey. And Jackie said, you got a pass, you little bitch, last night. You will not get another. I said, oh, well, come on, baby. They ready to shake the table. And then the damn shit went off. I said, God damn it. Listen, the girls who usually walk away got camera balls. And the other girls is ready to rumble, honey. I said, well, can we get a long episode? Let's go. So I don't know. I can't wait to see next week. But baby, I don't know, Jack. Jackie, you probably gonna have to whoop Phoebe's ass. Because Phoebe is wearing you out. Like girl, when she turned around there the night before, it was like, so what's really going on, ears? I said, oh, Phoebe. She was eating Jackie up. She really was. And Jackie was like, I bet you're not going to clown me no 2 nights in a row. So I don't know if she's going to go on and whoop Phoebe's ass or what she going to do. And CeCe really did shock the table. When she called Evelyn a bitch, honey, they all was giving. I was like, child, yeah, she called you a bitch. What about it? I mean, you ain't above it. You know what I mean? You a bitch. She already told you you're a goddamn hood rat. Now you a hood rat bitch. But I think you're going to get fucked up though, CeCe. But it's okay. Anyway, all right, y'all. I'll catch y'all next week. Hot mess, honey. 2 dinners. I ain't seen nobody eat nothing yet.